Hey everybody, I showed you this quilt block, sorry for the shadow, in progress earlier, and there was some interest in kind of breaking down this design a little bit more. So the first thing I want to show you guys is some kind of thread choices. So this is yellow on a very dark fabric. What this does is it really shows off the stitching, which fortunately my stitch lengths were somewhat reasonable. On this, I don't have a stitch regulator, I'm just working on a little singer, so you know. And then this is yellow thread on yellow fabric. Let this come into focus. What you can't see super well is that I had more trouble with my stitch length on this block, but it blends. So if you're feeling unsure about your quilting, this is the look you want right here. And then if I can get this, it really shows off the texture very well. It's hard for me to show you that on video, but just kind of trust me. And then this is kind of a medium tone fabric with that yellow thread. I don't really know how I feel about this, to be perfectly honest, because the stitching doesn't really pop in the same way. But I'm also not getting that textural effect quite the way I do with the yellow on yellow. So that's just some things that happen based on choice. All right, now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to break down this design for you. So everybody take a deep breath and hope I don't jack up having a Sharpie over this quilt. So the basic premise of this design is you make a teardrop and then you echo it a couple of times. I do 2 to 3. Usually aim for 3. I do 2 if I get stuck. Now, what I'm already realizing is going to be tricky here is to make this design travel when I'm not working within a block. But what you're going to do is it travels because of where you end. And if you're wanting to learn this stitch, what you want to do is just what I'm doing right here. That you are going to go over and over again. Now, I want to end up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace back here and come around again so that I can continue moving upward. You got to think about that. Now here, I'm actually going to trace down like that. Ooh, shadow. And come around. Now here's a great little moment where it looks a little funky, but you know what? That's okay, because right, it shows up a lot right here in this black and white, but if I were doing that with thread, it would just be some personality. Especially if I then come back up in here, retracing again, and add some more funky shapes, kind of filling in this space. So that is how you do this Paisley done. Now, when you do it like this, you know, where I traveled, you start getting kind of a feather shape, but it really is versatile. I did this weekend where I think I might have only done it with 2 echoes. But I got a flower, and then I took it around another time. Now, ideally, these two would touch, and they didn't, and that's kind of funky. So let's see if I can fix that down here. Ooh, it's gonna be tricky. But all that to say, you can get kind of a feathered effect, or you can get more of a flower effect. Now, I think that's why I only did 2 echoes when I was doing this as a flower over the weekend. Sorry if this video is super choppy, by the way. I'll have to go back and watch it before I decide if I'm going to post it. But that is the breakdown of this shape. Again, teardrop, echo, echo. That's all there is to it. Promise you can do it. All right, night, y'all.